even want to know. Like, and it's like I think maybe I'm gonna look into it more, but I shouldn't.
I
Who
can't see
cares?
myself. Let me.
But
He's the guy that always
unless
gives
they're using
advice.
it for
I know, it's just
like if they're
funny.
using it to blackmail people, I think that's messed up. Like if the story about Sean
Yeah.
Combs is that he's like making people do things to him and then he's blackmailing them with it. So I don't know.
Allegedly, we can't come over here and
It's
encrypt.
real sordid.
Allegedly.
It's real sorted. Yeah.
Hey man, bad boy can't stop, won't stop. Can I say? Anyway,
Oh,
Yeah, he's writing a lot of checks, I think, last year.
yeah. Yep. Crazy.
The content of this meeting is being sent to a third party. By staying in this meeting, you can. Oh, okay. That's just a YouTube.
it's like,
like-
what's going on? I didn't consent
Like-
to this.
Third party.
China.
It's being sent to China.
What you drinking there, sir?
There's some whiskey.
Let me see.
Mhm.
Can you guys see me on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
You look like
What do I look like?
You look like an
you have the
Ewok.
basket up. You look like ET going back home. You got the things over there. You see some handlebars.
Let me go get my bike.
Wasn't that the view? It had the light like that behind him.
Yeah. I can't.
Or
I
maybe
got
it was
rid of myself on
moon.
the screen, so I can't see myself. Oh well.
Why? Okay. Let's see. We still see you.
I know. I just can't see me. It feels weird. Like I'm talking, but I can't see myself. Anyway.
Yeah, sometimes I'll like get off of the Zoom call screen and I'll get onto like a web page and then I just won't ever switch back.
Mhm.
I don't know. Anyway, we're ready to rock and roll. Welcome back, Robbie.
Oh, thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you guys.
Yeah, go ahead and start recording the audio. All right. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Good evening, Endless Ranters. Welcome back for episode 179 of your Endless Ranters podcast. My name is Chris. I'm a mostly peaceful dad from North Texas and one of your hosts for this evening. I'm joined by Robbie. Robbie's back. What up, Daddy-O? How you doing?
What up, homies? Doing well. Happy New Year to everybody out there.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank
Just
you.
to you, though. Not everybody out there. Just to you.
No, they got that. They got theirs last week.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they're fine. They're gonna be fine. Yeah, and it's a crunchy mom living in a soggy mom living in a crunchy mom's world. Sorry, I get that backwards. It's Quana. How you doing, Quana?
I'm thinking of converting to the crunchy.
Really
Going
going
full
full
crunch.
crunchy?
What?
Yeah, after
You gonna get like
Yeah.
a Prius or something, or get back on one of those Vespas?
Maybe.
Are you gonna start buying Goop products from Gwyneth Paltrow?
Yeah, no.
I have
Some
Adam's ball
rejuvenation.
candle. Now I just need one of her vagina candles and I'll be set.
There you go.
I wonder if they can maybe they make it like an electric Vespa now. There's probably like an EV Vespa.
You see those kids on
E-Vespa?
those big bicycles that have like the big fat tires on them? I think I could rock one of those.
Yeah, I don't know what the point of that is. Is it just a more comfortable ride, or like is that
No,
for
it's
special
electric.
terrain?
It's an electric bike.
Oh, well, they make mountain bikes like that too. But okay, the electric bikes are the big
Yeah.
big fat tires too.
Big, huge fat tire, which I
don't
think
know
I
how
would
I
need
feel
because of
about
my
the whole-
age. Bones.
I guess an electric bicycle that you could pedal to charge, and then if you want to, you could just use the battery.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For mountains. For hills.
I feel like you're going to spend a lot of money to get a good battery. I don't know, because we're in the world of electric scooters and all that crap, and it's like, man, that first couple months is awesome, and then the battery doesn't work as well.
You
Oh,
start
really?
cursing into hell.
Yeah, or it's just like you realize like you have a expensive thing that needs to be repaired from time to time, and it's It's
Oh.
not just a bike. It's not just like a BMX bike that just gets torn to shreds. It like might.
I
you might
love
pick it
that
at
I
a
have
shop.
2 men talking me out of this purchase. I love
And
it.
and actually, you guys also just reminded me that so you guys know I took a class. It's a fire safety director class, and my teacher was a battalion chief. So first class, I don't know if I mentioned this, but first class we attended the first one. Someone walked in with his electric bike, and he was going to leave it right there near the door, and he was going to go. He was headed to go take a seat, and he goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! Wait a minute! No. Take it with you. Take it all the way to the corner." And then he was walking, and he kind of left it in the middle of the wall, in the middle of the room. He's like, "Nope, the corner." And then he asked, "Do you guys know why I asked him to do that?" And then they're like,
Just a little power play. We like go just show
no,
him
they
who's
said,
boss.
well, yeah, but he goes, someone said, "Oh, well, because
I'll show it.
It could block the doorway, whatever." He's like, yeah, because of the lithium batteries, he's heard, and he has had to put out a lot of fires that have started
Bro.
because of the scooters and
You know what?
that
Robbie
sort of
just
thing.
talked me out of it.
Yeah, and
I'm
he
out.
says anything, if you're gonna have it on your floor, have it away from the door. That can be the only way of exit. We were on the 14th floor, so there's no way we can exit from the window. So,
Chuck it out. That would be awesome because you'd have the chance. You'd be able to like pick up the bike and use the
Look out
bike to smash the
below!
window.
Yeah,
And you throw it out the window.
Yeah,
And you'd
probably
be a
kill
hero
someone.
for it too.
Yeah,
Or maybe injure them severely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May I
Oh,
suggest that you
hell
leave
no.
it parked next to your vehicle instead of,
Yeah.
endangering you and your family?
I don't know.
So-
I kind of like
Potentially.
it's like, I feel like if someone gave me one of those, I'd be like, well, that's pretty cool. But I don't know. It's like another, I personally, I like having a bike and, pedaling a bike
Yeah.
and getting the exercise, but I can
I think
get
I'd
it.
like a bike too.
I get it if you're going around town and it's like,
Mhm.
well, I'd like to get some fresh air and take a little ride, but I just did my hair,
But what if it
Yeah.
was like my form of transportation? Because I really
get
only
sweaty.
like go to the grocery store and I go to the ramen place and I just mill around town.
That's like
Man.
a life. Then it's like a lifestyle. I think that it kind of fits like a lifestyle thing, like a getting like a basic Tesla might fit someone's lifestyle if they work from home and don't really need to go
Right.
around much and just
Yeah.
But if you're real into like driving around to state park or whatever, it's like, man, maybe that might not be the best thing.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, if it
now
fits
that I
your
know that they
lifestyle,
catch fire all the time, I think I'll just stick to.
I see. I don't like.
I'm surprised that you're entertaining the idea, considering that you don't like to go out.
Well, I sometimes have to go out, Manny.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
I mean,
All right. I'm just trying to clarify.
Come on, man.
Anyway.
The weed is not going to buy itself, Manny. Come on.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
Jeez.
It needs to get
She's
to
already
point A
told
to
us
point-
they bring in like a dump truck.
Yeah, they do.
They have with a
They
forklift.
do.
They bring in
Yeah.
one of those trucks that have a forklift on on the back of it. You know what I mean?
You know what? He asked me the other day. He's like, I bet those guys wonder how I put up with your shit. I was like, I bet they do.
Try not to think about it.
Quana's got those punch cards that they just like, oh, there you go.
After
One
buying
more.
5 pounds, the 6th one's on us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can't help it.
But
Keeps me
anyway,
calm.
and then there's producer Manny. What's going down, old man?
Literally
Sorry,
chilling,
we got
son.
carried away there. We got carried
That's
away.
all right. We got to kill some time,
Yeah.
We don't have to rush through the intro. Let's have some fun with it, man. Why are we rushing?
We do what we want.
Good question.
Exactly.
We
Exactly.
ain't from Russia, so why are we rushing?
Yep.
Oh,
Anyway,
By the way, I forgot to mention or bring it to Robbie's attention. While you were gone, you were given a new nickname. You're now known as China Rob.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that?
where'd that come from?
I just felt like you needed to be caught up in case, anyone had any questions
Okay.
or yeah.
China Rob?
Yeah.
With a Y, right? Like China, Rob.
Yeah, with a Y.
Oh, was that because of when I don't even know what the guy's name is, Yao Jingping, whatever his name is, came to your
to San
area
Francisco?
and you
Yeah.
roll out the red carpet for him?
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
That's why.
Where you were beating up
me and my
homeless
homie
people
Gavin.
for G? Is that what they call
Yeah.
him?
we rolled out the red carpet, and the no, never mind, origami. That's Japanese, right?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Let's
It
keep
is,
it going.
but I don't think,
Let's keep
you
it
know, the
going. I don't
Chinese,
want to get.
they like
it's too-
really they appreciate it. At
It's
least
too early
I
to
mean,
get canceled today.
I guarantee you somewhere there's someone in China that does origami.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I've done
They might
origami.
call
I mean,
it something
it's
else.
fine. It's fine.
I have it. It's too hard, you know.
It is.
It's like
it is.
to get. Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Just make a
You need
paper
the paper
airplane.
and a book. Yeah.
Just make a
Yep.
paper airplane and be
Call
real.
it a day.
Stop being so
Yeah.
bougie.
Yep. You're right. You were right.
Oh man, it's been a hell of a week. It's been a hell of a week. Not to
So-
break any HIPAA laws, but my wife had lost her gallbladder last weekend. It was a crazy weekend. So we went through all that at the hospital for not even 24 hours. We were there. So that's one thing, but
Was it an expedited service? They had just had you in and out under the knife, and
I guess it's kind of like an appendicitis, or when they want to take you, like they don't mess around. They're just like, it's time. You want to do it as fast as you can,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know? So, yeah, we were there. Her friend, because I had the kids were asleep. So her friend came and got her, brought her to the emergency, like urgent care. Then they were like, you need to go to you need to go get admitted. So then I went to sleep, got up real early, and then went to the hospital before she actually went into the surgery and all that stuff. But it's great. Like her story is hers to tell, but my story was that
Next
like,
week on Endless Ranters.
what I need to go back in there and get my head checked, because it's like when I'm in there, right, and beforehand, it's like the attitude is these healthcare workers are heroes. You know,
Right.
like just
Yeah.
they're heroes. They serve us. They're just doing such a great job. And then as soon as they had done the finished the surgery, like an hour later, she's woken up and I'm just like, my attitude towards them just changes. And I've been trying to think about it. Like, what's going on with that? What's wrong with me? Because my attitude has just changes towards like, why are you keeping us here? Like, what's wrong with you? Why are you trying to kidnap me? Like, why are you kidnapping my wife? Like, we're waiting here. Like, we've been pushing the button. Like, someone said they were going to come and start the paperwork and no one's here yet. And why are we still being like, start feeling real weird.
Mhm.
It's like when I was at Academy picking up my son's mini bike and they were trying to make me register the mini bike.
Right.
And I was about to call the police for kidnapping.
Right.
I was like starting to talk loud in the store. Like, I've purchased
That's
this
right.
bike.
You might be a Karen. You might be a Karen.
Chris is getting angry.
I was being
Chris is
wrong.
getting angry.
I don't think so. You better what? Yeah, I was starting to talk loud. Like, I purchased this bike. The credit
My own money.
transaction's gone through. I own this bike now. And
I'm a full-blooded
let
American.
me get this. I was like, let me get this straight. You're not going to let me leave with this bike that I just bought. And I was like, I go to the guy. I was like, the transaction went through, correct? And he's like, yes. Yeah.
So it's mine, right? It's mine,
Man,
right?
I started getting real pissed. And to be honest, yeah, I did. To be honest, I did think that like me getting like starting to get pissed would like get me out of there, and they held tight. I had to wait for
They're
Jeff, the
used to
manager,
people getting
and all that.
pissed.
Just
Used to be a
You
rarity. Now
You didn't say.
people are pissed.
Do you know who I am? I'm Chris from Endless Ranters podcast.
No,
Don't ever say
No.
that.
I was like, where's Jeff, the manager? Because they kept telling me like Jeff, the manager, is stuck at the gun. Did I tell this story online or I don't know? But
Yeah,
I believe we
you
did.
did. You
he's stuck at the
did.
gun barn, and I was like, it's not a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was starting to get hostile.
You're bringing back memories.
I was starting to get hostile, but I felt the same way at the hospital. Like, like what's going on? Like you told us that we would we'd be in recovery and then we'd get checked out, just, whatever they call it,
Mhm.
whatever, discharge from right there.
Yeah.
Now, like, now you're making us send back, go back up to the room. And
Yeah,
like all
discharge
these,
your nurse has to make sure all your money
Yeah.
got checked off. And
I don't know.
how many IV bags did she get? Oh, that's 9,000.
oh, is that what they're doing? They're like
Yeah.
checking the trash to make sure they didn't
Yeah.
miss any wrappers and like,
Yeah,
charts.
exactly. Oh, do we use how many needles?
yeah, I
Yeah.
started
Oh,
to get
those are
real,
$92 a piece. Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll just say that's bad on me. That's on me.
Yeah.
Feel feeling that way about them at first, then feeling a different way about them after.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
still,
After they saved your wife's
they should be
life.
more clear about why they're not letting us leave.
Yeah.
And hurry up and, just demonstrate that they are, want to get us out of there as soon as possible.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
Courtesy-
like
as
they
a
do it, like even you
courtesy.
go to Chick-fil-A,
We're
they don't
coming.
like
We'll be
keep
right
you
with
guessing.
you.
Yeah, they don't
Only
keep you
person on
wondering.
this floor.
You go to Chick-fil-A, they don't like leave you over there in the corner and not knowing what's going on. They keep you informed of your order.
They do.
It's probably not
They
a
do.
fair comparison, but anyway, that all happened.
Yeah.
Everything's good though now, but it was kind of a little scary for a minute.
Do they do that surgery laparoscopically? Like, is it a little tiny incision?
Yeah, it's like 4 tiny incisions.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they put little things in with robots and all that stuff. And
was this like we have to rush to the hospital?
Well, the night before, she woke up in the middle of the night and had like weird pains like in her abdomen, but it wasn't like anything she'd ever felt before.
Yeah.
Then she threw up and it went away. I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. But then like the next afternoon, it happened again. And I was like, okay, this is, you should
Something's
go.
off.
You should go somewhere and look at it. So I'm glad we did, or she did. So
oh yeah.
If she hadn't, would have become emergent, like she would have known, because my stomach is weird a lot.
I think you can kind of like those they call like whatever they call the attacks are not gonna stop.
Okay.
Like whatever has caused like your body's not gonna like heal that itself. Like if it's gotten to the state where you're having the attacks, you're past the point of no return.
The appendicitis is the one that hurts horribly, right? That's the one that is like
this one I guess is something too, because it's just like very inflamed.
Yeah.
There's like the gallstone, like stones form in there or something like that.
Right. I've heard about that before. Gosh,
anyway,
I'm glad she's okay.
But it all happened so fast that it couldn't get too scary. You know what I mean? So I feel for people that, yourself, you had those long issues that are like dealing with those types of things over like weeks and weeks of testing at a time and seeing different specialists trying to figure it out. Like, no, this was like crazy. Within like a couple hours at the urgent care, I was like, this is what it is. Here's what got to happen. Bam, bam, bam. I was like,
yeah.
And then
we
were back home within 24 hours. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. They don't want you to recover in the hospital anymore because they're too dirty.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, you're safer at home, less bacteria.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they do that. Like,
was this a back
they
alley?
did seem to have like. Well, that's good because that's statistically like that's where you get the sickest.
Yeah, like staff or whatever. Like it's in the hospitals. They want you home. I mean, it's theoretically safer at home, right?
Yeah, I'll say they want like any part of you that might be touching like an operating table. They not only clean that, but they also want you to like. They have like these really great like body Clorox wipes you're supposed to use.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That I guess just it's an extra measure of antibacterial or something like that to just for the 2 hours or whatever hour you're on the table or whatever. I don't know.
Right. I wonder how they get the organ out with the little incisions. They must have to like.
They said one of the incisions will be sore because that's the one they pulled it out of and it stretches it. But it's still like the gallbladder is really small. So.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, we should move on.
Sorry.
Not that she's listening, but she probably wouldn't appreciate the focus.
Did they give you like a souvenir, like here, take it home with you, or do they dispose of it?
Nope. Just
Landfill.
some of those good hospital mugs. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about, Robbie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Funny because Cindy, our former guest and friend Cindy, she shared a video about like all the Stanley tumblers.
Oh right.
And they were one at the end was the hospital tumbler. But that's funny. Then the story is Laura said, she's like, I think I'm going to jinx myself because she had just like a few days before she was saying like with all these freaking Yetis and stuff. She was like, I wish I had one of those mugs again from the hospital. We had tons of them for years from the kids being born and just like taking every single one we could find.
Right.
Yeah.
So we
Are
did
you
get a
talking about the
couple.
one with the handle? It's like a pitcher.
Yeah, it's like clear plastic with a blue top, the flex straw. Yeah, I don't know. She was like, I love those. So we got a couple of them from this trip.
I love that for you guys.
What's everyone's like fascination, obsession, being drawn to those types of mugs? I don't understand.
I don't know. We got to talk about though, like it's going to be real weird for like
Big Mug
archaeologists.
has everybody, you know, programmed to, you know, go out and mob the stores.
I mean, what the Yetis are made out of? Archaeologists in 1,000 years, 2,000 years, excavating places that are going to be there's going to be like no organic matter at all. Like will have
Except for these fucking
disintegrated, but there's going to
cups.
be like a giant land like pile of Tervis tumblers and Yetis.
Yeah.
Where the
have a
landfill
Yeti.
was, and they're
I
going to
need
be
to
like,
get a
"What is
Yeti."
this? What is these? What are these things? Are these like,
Historians,
weapons?"
historians are going to say all of a sudden all the women became construction workers in like January of 2024 for some reason, and
Stanleys.
the Stanleys, and all they need is the large
The Stanleys
lunch
test
pails.
for lead. The Stanleys test for lead. I don't know what people are doing. Like they literally test for lead.
They hit the market last year.
Us.
They hit the market last year.
Car fire.
And they died. And they
oh yeah.
And they didn't really I think they hit the market. They tried to make it big. It didn't work because I think they were like just tests that came out and people were saying they didn't work. But then they released like different colors and limited colors at Target, and I guess created some kind of
but you guys know about the car fire really also, no, right? You guys know about that. You guys see the news? Okay, this woman's she made a video about it. She posted a video. Her car caught fire and it was basically totaled. And she made a video and she said the only thing that survived was this Stanley cup of mine. And she posted it. She goes, it's the only thing that survived. She made a post on like TikTok and Instagram. And then not long after, the CEO of Stanley made a video and he said,
we bought her a house.
Well, he actually made a video and he said, hey, we thank you sorry for what happened to you. Well, we're going to send you a new Stanley or a Stanley Cup, and we're going to buy you a new car, the one you had. And he, now he goes, now
did that rig, that's what created this new kick,
I don't know
this thing.
I don't know if it did, but this was a half a year ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And it's the only thing I can think of. And that's how maybe it kind of got the ball rolling.
I got a feeling like they just bought a shit ton of these freaking thermoses from China, whatever the factory, and they're like, we got to get rid of these things, man. Like make them pink, make them
Starbucks
whatever.
edition also, I think.
Like we need to hire a crack team of 22-year-old social media influencers to figure out how to sell these shitty tumblers that aren't even as good as like the Walmart brand.
Mm-hmm.
That's my recommendation, everybody. Is
I'm a Hydro Flask girl. Fuck a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, those are reasonable, but the Ozark Trail brand at Walmart is great because it's really good quality. They're cheap, and they also, because it's Walmart, they sell so many, they have every shape and size. They have like the wine, the coffee, like every shape and size they have. So
yes.
Yeah,
well,
my daily is a
cup and not a plastic cup.
My daily coffee mug, coffee traveler is a Walmart Ozark Trail I've had for like, I don't know, 8-9 years. Something.
Okay. You bring it in every night?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
I always bug me about Ace having his coffee cup rolling around in his truck, right?
Like a mug.
Yeah. I was like, why aren't you bringing your cup
I don't
in?
buy that. I don't buy that ever happened to him more than once or something. I don't know. Anyway, so what else is going on in this crazy world? It's been the 2024 started fast and furious.
Fast. I feel like what's today? The 12th. It feels like we're the 97th day in January. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think the plan this year is just to throw so many things, so many stories at us that are just so deep, and like Cat Williams and all the fallout from that, and You got
Why?
the tunneling Jews of New York that are just, also blowing us away with whatever the hell what's going on, whatever they're doing.
I don't
Yeah.
know why, but the way you said that, it made it sound like it's something that was out of a Mel Brooks movie or something.
Sounds like an
Yeah, I
independent
mean,
folk
it is.
band.
It literally is.
You know what? Just even saying that, you're going to be considered anti-Semitic. Like, that's crazy. It's insane. Like,
Okay.
what's going on, right? Why is that? What happened? Like, what?
They were
Why
going
aren't we
nuts,
covering
dude.
it? It's not. They should want to know where they lead to. They should be doing DNA tests. Like, what? Why is there what? Right?
Well, the whole tunnel Jews thing is it's you have to kind of take a step back and realize that the people that were doing it, I'm just trying to be as nice as possible. Like they do not live in the same world we live in.
Mhm.
Right? These are like deep Orthodox.
Oh yeah.
Not even like regular Orthodox. They're like from a special sect or section.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Of it that traveled here for some, like they came here.
Super Orthodox, whatever you want to say.
Probably came here on like a wooden ship or something just to stay, whatever, clean,
Yeah.
holy,
I
whatever.
did hear one of them like trying to like
kosher.
justify it, and the police officer was like, "Yeah, but you can't dig a tunnel, sir." Like,
Yeah, he goes, we don't do this in New York.
Yeah, so they were just like, we just, I mean, and I'm just trying. I'm not real. I'm looking for like, what were they doing? What's up with these mattresses? Like, let's do some swabs. Let's get some CSI New York. Gary Sinise in there.
yeah.
The whole CBS CSI crew from
Right.
every
Mariska
city.
Hargitay,
Yeah,
get
they
Mariska
all-
Hargitay in
Every city
there.
coming in Vegas, bring in the Top Guns.
They can
to
reconvene.
like swab the hell out of that place. But at the same time, it's like they're just some crazy like young kids that, I mean, some have said I've seen where these are like very sheltered people to the point where they're just straight up dumb. Like they could recite the Talmud or whatever to you, but like they're just straight up dumb in terms of how the world works.
They dug the tunnels, like
they hired.
They did it first. Then they were like, "This is hard work."
Yeah, and they hired Mexicans basically.
They're like, "This is
illegal labor."
What I came here for,
if you know what I mean. They hired my cousins basically.
They wanted the rabbi. They wanted the rabbi to. I mean, they wanted the tunnel to be built. They wanted the synagogue to be expanded. They just didn't really want to do it themselves.
Yeah, and if you want it done right, you're gonna come on. Have you seen El Chapo's tunnels? Come on, hello.
True. They are the best. We
have a good history of tunneling.
But in the news articles I read, they would put Mexican workers in quotes because they weren't really sure. Sure.
Some Mexicans, some Guatemalans, Hondureños.
Someone there was like, we think they were Mexicans. Like, that was it.
We'll just call them all Mexicans.
Are they going to?
They were illegals too.
The migrants that have been brought over, are they going to blame the migrants that they just started tunneling? They got here and they just started tunneling.
That's part of the story is the fact that these. And I guess like my understanding is like these are all young guys, like 17 to 20 in their early 20s, and the grown-ups that run the place wanted no part of this. They wanted no controversy. Like they were not down with this heat that's brought on their plate. Like they were not. This is not how they wanted their week to go. Was like having to explain why they had young tunneling Jews down below. Like they didn't want to like the older guys that run the synagogue.
It's like, mind your business.
They're kicking them out and they're taking away like whatever visa they had to get to be here. They were in the
process of digging the tunnels. Like there was dirt coming out, or the tunnels were already established.
No, they found, so this is like an old building. They found like an old mikvah, like an old bathroom or bath mikvah, like bath house in there that was abandoned. And then they broke through, there was like another room and they broke through some gate and then they just started digging past that. So again, the reason is that there's a possibility that these kids are just nuts and they have nothing better to do. And it's like when my son and his friends get on like a crazy, we're going to do this in Fortnite kick, or we're going to build the biggest ocean in Minecraft, and they just obsess about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuckers obsessed about this tunnel and like just some weird. Again, I'm trying to. Maybe they were trying to tunnel to like the Playboy Club or something, to see some titties, but
they had some pretty established tunnels already, right? It
they
wasn't
weren't that
just
big.
like,
No.
oh, okay.
I don't even think. I think if someone said it was like an 8x8 room, so this was not. They did not They did not have like a card room. They weren't like setting up poker games. It was just like
interesting because I think I'm confused because the stories that I've seen is that there were tunnels, like the tunnels went in different directions and they were kind of showing where the directions were. So that's not what happened.
I'm not really. I could be wrong, but it didn't. From everything I read, it did not like.
Either way,
they might have dug some tunnels, but they were not like. They were really just digging tunnel. It was like me and my friends digging holes when we were kids. We would just dig holes to dig holes.
Is that the spin though? Is that the spin that they're trying to put on it? Because you can't really say like. I mean, if there were tunnels under a Catholic church, what will we say? Will we have questions? Will we think about differently? Or
I hope their tunnels are better.
I mean, there's an
I think the reports are like this is not. There's an entire
reports.
Underground network beneath the
but the reports
Vatican.
are coming from like they're like a bunch of cops that are definitely not Hasidic Jews who showed up and just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like they were like, what? There are some cops there that were just like in total WTF mode, like not buying what the dudes with the curly haired sideburns were putting down, like just being like no, like what the so I think there was enough.
I've seen some AI art. It's crazy.
I feel like maybe that synagogue was able to like, clean up the scene real quick, but I feel like there's enough animosity towards the Jewish people that they probably, the cops would probably be like, what,
the timing on
be
this
a little
is
bit
a little
more
bit
aggressive,
messed up though too, right? Like the timing of this, like when we have
but I think
Palestinian protests breaking out. I mean, there was one by our mall. Like there was a big old, one by our mall.
It is weird that they were digging the tunnel thing. But there's another thing to this is that I believe that a lot of the Orthodox, like real old school Jews, they're not what you would call Zionists. They're against. They're not really down with the whole nation of Israel, Zion, and like that kind of thing. They're kind of committed to their lifestyle where they are and just being kind of maybe considering themselves people without a country almost. Even though they're Americans, I'm sure they have American passports and Israeli passports, but they kind of have more of an attitude about like the fact that Israel exists isn't really important to them. And because I think there were like groups of them marching, not only like really leftist, non-practicing Jewish people, but like groups of like real Orthodox Jews protesting like for Palestine. I just saw
that million and against Israel that was pro-Palestine.
Oh, they're celebrating our new war. There's a bunch of people in Yemen celebrating our new war.
Oh my goodness. All the D to the Americas. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that's something.
Oh, so it's crazy.
But yeah, the tunnel thing, I don't know. I mean, maybe more will come out, but I think that it seems to me what they discovered wasn't a lot of infrastructure. They weren't running power yet and like setting up poker tables and games and all that.
It's crazy to think that you can dig a tunnel underneath a building and not like, I'm sorry, what?
There was a story. Look it up in like Chicago somewhere. There was a lady, like a suburban lady in Chicago or where was she? It was just in a major city. And she got it in herself to like dig a hole down under her basement. And then she started digging a tunnel, but she just did it on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point she had so many followers like keeping up with this tunnel she was building under the neighborhood that they were like, you can't do that. Like you can't do like this is not
this is a zone for digging a tunnel. It's not permitted.
Yeah, there's
like
no
those people
law.
By the beach. That guy by the beach that let his kids dig out that waterway.
Oh, the trench. Yeah. They were like, there's no law. Like we never thought that anybody would do this. So we didn't pass a law that you can't dig 60 feet down into your home neighborhood and start digging tunnels, but we're going to have to stop you.
Please stop. Please stop.
Actually, I think in that story, they just told her to stop until they kind of didn't, like she could get the right permits, which I'm sure there's like, what permits? Like, what is there? There's no. Yeah.
It's like my
But
taxes
yeah, she
pay
put it
for
on
this, damn it.
TikTok. She put the whole thing on TikTok. And I guess that went on for a long time, or like at least, months, like many, many months.
How did I miss that?
There was
God damn
I
it.
saw a story a few days ago where this man somewhere, I don't know if it's Turkey or somewhere in those areas, he was digging a hole because he had a dream that there was like gold down there. So he got the town to help him dig that hole and dig that hole and dig that hole. And it was really long. I forget how long it was, how deep it was. And then at one point he lost his balance and he fell into the hole and he died.
Dude.
Yeah. This was a few days ago. Yeah. Crazy.
My parents always warned me to dig holes in the woods. Like, I had an uncle who, I guess he was digging a hole and they collapsed on him. And his friends used a pitchfork to try to get him, and he had a scar. And they would tell me that he had a scar on his forehead because they were like they were desperate, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like one got a shovel, one got a pitchfork, and they were like trying to.
Bro.
Now I wonder, because I tell my kids so many stories. Like I wonder if that was even true.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. That's my favorite part of
What if
being
they
a
made
parent
that up?
is the stories you can make up.
Like I wonder if my mom ever like, yeah. You start also thinking like that guy I called Uncle Cliff when I was 7. Like I wonder if he was really my uncle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you realize you start like realize like your kid, or like you see other kids calling like non-relatives uncle.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
He's just the guy that
So
owed
great.
your dad money.
Yeah.
lies built on lies.
Nothing's real.
Yeah.
This whole digging tunnels and stuff business, it also reminds me of, and how scary it is, how so many tunnels we may not know are underneath a lot of these people's houses, like all throughout the country. And they might have, missing people and all this stuff, missing teen, missing woman, missing kid or whatever.
It's come up on this very podcast.
Oh,
the
yeah.
fucking cheese tunnels. Hello.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. and also, look, this is more of a kind of a horror movie, but it's not too far from reality.
It's our life. Go
Oh
ahead.
yeah. I don't know if you've seen the movie, Barbarian. It came out a couple years ago. There's something kind of like that in the movie. There's a tunnel, there's an underground thing, and then there's someone out down there. Don't want to give it away, but
You just did, bro.
Yeah, I know, right?
Are you
You
acting
don't
like,
know.
Are you acting like there's not tunnels? Because there
No,
are.
I'm saying
there's clearly tunnels. Like
I'm saying people may not think, they don't think about this. That your neighbor might have, a ton. I don't know. You don't know if you have a weird neighbor that pops his head out every now and then, or brings in
government
buckets of
They
stuff.
have
I don't know, dirt.
that
If
weird
you see a lot
neighbor.
of dirt, remember that the news maybe 5 years ago, where this black dude comes out, talks to the news. He's like, man, I saw a white girl. She was running down the street. She came up to me. And as soon as she came up to me and asked for help, I knew she was in trouble, because no white girl's going to come up to a black man and ask for help. She had run away from this house, and she was able to get away. And I don't know how long she was being held for.
Mm-hmm.
And he was on the news. He was viral for a few days because of how funny he was. But yeah, she ran to him, and she was bruised up and everything. And he
jumped out of a window, though, not a tunnel.
No, yeah. But you never, all these abandoned houses, you never know. That's why, all these people that go, what's urban spelunking, do your thing, go investigate, because you never know.
Leapfrogging, right, Manny?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Wait, have you ever been tempted to go tunnel exploring, since you have access through,
Yeah. My high school, where I went, I went underneath the stage of the auditorium because I was in a play. One of these days that we were doing the play, we all decided to start walking down these stairs, and underneath the stairs there was like a hallway, and then like a door, and you can hear like water. And if you look back in like the history of that area, there was a creek underneath. So it was built like over a creek, and you can still hear kind of water. It's fun. There's near the city where I live, in the Richmond area, there's a abandoned mall. I think it's called the Richmond Hilltop Mall or something like that. And if you Google it or go to YouTube, you'll see how it looks now, and people will break in and they'll go run around and all that stuff. And a lot of
kind of fascinating.
Yeah. I think it's fun as long as it's, you don't get hurt. I don't know.
There was where I used to live in Texas here, there was like an old outlet mall that had died a decade ago, but it was like overgrown, but it was like all the structure was still there. I mean, you couldn't really see it. You could see it from the highway kind of, and even the access roads to it were kind of overgrown, but just kind of always curious, like, man, you get in there and it'd just be kind of wild to see what's there.
Yeah.
It's all empty there.
I think it's interesting. It's fun. If you can send out a drone or whatever.
Hell yeah.
Don't get Chris started on drones.
Or I don't know why, but some of my favorite parts of watching the dystopian movies, like futuristic movies, like post-apocalyptic movies, is like seeing how they imagine those things, having fallen apart.
Right.
Or just, like how a mall, like
structures.
like how the structure, what happens to a mall, 50 years, like even like watching like documentaries about Chernobyl, just like what happened, like it's just fascinating to see what would happen to all this stuff if people just stopped taking care of it.
Kind of like Pompeii, how, just not volcano.
Similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
But more like a slow,
your house,
decay.
like if you don't take care of it, like
yeah.
Gotta do
like if you don't air condition your house, like if it's not getting ventilation, just things start to happen inside.
Yeah. Like growing.
Wind. Yeah. I don't know. In Texas here, they would say that like just constant, like there's like, 15 miles an hour of wind blowing on your house at all times.
Crazy.
So
that'll do some damage to your paint.
Right? Just like it's like something, it's just like something is leaning on your house, like
constantly.
all the time. Or just things overgrow, like grass, weeds growing up into your foundation.
Yeah.
I never saw the series on what HBO is it, but I played the video game, The Last of Us. Yeah, kind of like that. I
like what they do in those movies.
Nature starts growing. Yeah, nature starts growing around. What's that poem with the rose, the flower, the rose that came out of concrete, all that stuff.
Roses are red. It's called Roses are Red. It's the easiest name to remember, man. Come on. But I probably mentioned this before, but I think it was Dawn of the Dead, but not the 90s version or early 2000s, but there was like a 70s version of it where, the zombie apocalypse happens and these people go and hunker down a mall.
The mall.
It's awesome because it's like there's a sporting goods store with all the weapons. There's clothing stores. There's like an Orange Julius, they could just make themselves food.
Oh, for sure.
That just, as a kid, that was like really entertaining to watch or to imagine. So
I thought it was awesome, and because also, unlimited everything, and they built themselves a secret room with a secret wall, and they kind of bunkered in there, and they until they found it out.
I don't remember a ton of details about it, but I'll always remember that movie.
Yeah. It's George Romero George Romero. It's came after the Night of the Living Dead. It was the sequel, basically.
There you go.
Yeah, was there like Dawn? Then there was Day of the Dead.
Day of the
There's
Dead,
all
which-
those. Yeah.
Yeah, which is Day of the Dead was not as good, but it was in a military bunker as well, underground military bunker.
I didn't see.
Yeah.
I didn't really like those. To be honest, that at that time, I didn't really like scary movies. I was a
Yeah.
kid, but I just happened to watch the Dawn of the Dead one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Robbie got a visitor.
Yeah. It's all right. He'll be back.
Oh, it's okay. Well, it's just you and me now, man.
Yeah. Well,
Just you and me.
what else did you want to get into, by the way? I know that there was, before we got into the show, that you wanted to cover something else.
I forgot I made the list yesterday. I thought,
Damn
Quan
you,
would,
man.
like update it.
I have no access to this list. That's why I'm
Everybody's
trying
gone.
to throw it back to you
Oh,
so you
okay.
could.
I'm fine.
Access to what?
No, the topic list. I wanted to see what
Oh.
Chris was, or maybe Quana wanted to speak on
Steve,
next.
Steve Harvey.
Oh, Steve Harvey.
You had some thoughts about Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Steve Harvey, I'm trying to figure out what the Cat Williams interview with Shannon Sharp, former
Did-
NFL player, former Raven, Super Bowl
Is that
champion.
who
with the
that
Ravens.
is? Is that who that is? Okay. I
Shannon
was like,
Sharp,
I've never
yeah.
heard of this person. And then
Who
all of a
here
sudden I'm
watched
watching
the
it.
interview, by the way?
Just clips.
I just watched
Cat-
clips and I watched.
Cat's been talking about this for years.
Did you
though.
watch the whole
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah,
It's
I
not
watched the whole
brand
thing.
new.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So let me make jokes about what I think it is before you can then you can tell us what really. No. So
Didn't
no, maybe Manny can explain it best. Or maybe maybe we should get Manny's like takeaway from it. But
Everyone in Hollywood's fake. That's my takeaway.
yeah,
And,
and I
they're
guess like
chugging
Cat,
hogs. They're chugging hogs, which I said a couple weeks ago. They're literally chugging each other's
yeah,
hogs.
we need a this is the dong experts. Got to
I'm
got to chime,
sorry.
got to chug in. I mean, chime
That's
in.
going to be your second alias after the.
That's me.
Oh my god!
I mean, it's just it's not about any it's like other dongs in the news. You know what I mean? Other dongs in the news. It's
I
not
mean, I
personal.
called it-
11.
I
Not
said
personal.
it. I said it 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, and then Cat Williams comes and says the exact same fucking thing, and everybody's like shocked. Like I said, it was the black preacher and Pete and Sean
Yeah.
Combs.
The
Which
Hoteps
Sean
talk
Combs,
about that.
I was
a bit.
I was like confused about Sean Combs and P Diddy. They're the same person.
Right.
I came
Yeah.
to terms about the next day.
That's why he keeps changing his name. But yeah, the Hoteps talk about that quite a bit. They talk a lot about like black entertainers and all they don't say they don't know, but it's like they talk about all the rumors that are spinning around black entertainers and what they've got to go through or do or whatever to
Get that role.
get
All the
I
guys
guess
in the
more
dresses.
limited roles. And yeah, that was weird. Yeah, Black Twitter went off like this is the last. Yeah, Black Twitter
I
did.
love that you're our earpiece for Black Twitter. Please
I can't
carry
even
on.
help it because the Hoteps were talking about that, and they were talking about how like all those like within like an hour, like Black Twitter was just full of pictures of all these guys in dressed. It's like I don't even remember
Every
that
one
part
of
of the
them.
movie.
Every one
Some of these
them.
were like edited scenes that were cut out of movies too.
Mhm.
Yeah, but they were talking about Hoteps like a couple years ago. I heard them talking about stuff like this about because it kind of goes. It's not just Hollywood. It kind of goes back to like some of these practices, as you can imagine, is like go back to like times of slavery where like they would just physically humiliate like the strongest men,
Right.
or the leaders of, whatever, like men that just naturally had leadership qualities,
Mhm.
that they would not harness those qualities. They would actually like break them. So it's just like, it's real. Like they would like Hoteps talk about that stuff. And to me, I'd be like, what the fuck, but they would talk about that stuff. Like that's what happened. And then like, I guess there's some people in that community talk about how it kind of still happens today, but different, like in
Right.
Hollywood. So they were talking about this kind of stuff a couple of years ago. But man, yeah, Cat Williams, I guess, set that world on fire. And like all of them, Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, we're all like, Kevin Hart, we're all like making statements.
Kevin Hart was on Watch
Putting
What Happens
statements out.
Live after a reunion show last night. I was like, wow, he is really just
Yeah.
having to, state his case, I guess. I didn't watch
It's
to see
very
if Andy Cohen
sordid, but
asked him about it.
what bothers me about it, and it kind of and maybe it's like the hoteps listening to them is like they don't appreciate the net result. Like they understand like that the truth is like pretty sordid and entertaining and fascinating and all that, but it's like they don't appreciate the result, which is just like, oh, like all the most popular black comedic actors that are getting the biggest roles have just been knocked down a peg. Like,
Yeah.
okay, congratulations, Cat Williams and Shannon Sharp. You just made it so that Steve Harvey and Kevin Hart don't get paid as much on their next. Like, okay, I mean, maybe they deserve that, or maybe the net result is like you just kind of like.
I think they'll be fine. I think
Oh,
that
they'll be fine, of course. But
I think that
the
the deal that they've made to be in the position they're in, the dresses that they've worn, their position is solid. So they'll be fine. They've already
heels they
signed
put
their
on.
contract. They've signed their contract. They're fine. They're fine.
Yeah. So, or maybe it's good because it exposes that, but it's like
I said, Kevin Hart was on after a reunion show. So I don't know, you don't understand the Bravo universe, but a reunion show is a big night.
I could say, no, that's not something that happens by accident.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
oh, well, no, I'm friends with Andy Cohen, and we just came up in conversation. No, it's like there's teams of Kevin Hart's team is like,
yeah,
man, we got to get him on The View. We got to get him like doing pulling lotto balls, fucking
put him on the gayest show on TV. Lord have mercy, protect my soul.
But then also, like, what are you really exposing? Because like, there's nothing special about this, like, because I try to think about when these things go down, like the black community, I try to think, well, like, has anything like that ever happened in the white community? It's like, oh, well,
yeah.
I kind of remember like back in the 50s.
Robbie was ready. He was like, I got one chambered, baby. Let's go.
Well, now, but like I think
Tony
about even
Curtis, Jack Lemmon.
Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah, that's exactly like all those guys. Bing Crosby.
Yeah.
Not Bing.
What about the Latino community, Robbie?
John Leguizamo and Tu Wong Fu. Hello.
Oh yeah.
Patrick
Swayze, Tu Wong Fu. He's not
Leguizamo. He didn't get to put on a plumber's costume. He had to wear a dress.
Yeah, and he's still working. So I don't know. It's not just. That
was a long time ago in that community, and now like, many books have been written that all those guys, and I'm not naming any. I'm just naming some names, but like all those guys, Danny Kaye, Bob Hope, like all those guys were not the people that you saw in the movies, Dancing with Ginger Rogers and Winning Her Heart at the end and like Sailing Away. Like all those guys were all fucked up. Those guys were all like perverts and had their own stuff going on. Like maybe one of them, like Jerry Lewis. Yeah. Like all that, like those guys were all freaking the same, same
I guess
perverts.
That Priscilla movie kind of paints Elvis as quite the,
I don't know, but all those guys would have been on Epstein's Island in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Original
creators of
like they were
process.
Yeah, so they were kind of the starting model of that Hollywood. Like, man, these people are so popular, and everybody thinks they're the guy in the movie.
Isn't Hollywood
that is an incredible
psyop,
power?
If you think about it, like Hollywood is the psyop. Like everybody's so obsessed with it. Like. And when you think about like the Manson murders and how they connect that to the CIA and Hollywood and all of the things, like everything in there is like, we're all so fascinated with those people. Everybody.
It would be hard to tell like what came, like what the chicken and the, like what came first.
Yeah, you're right.
Know what I mean? Because it's like, and it's like, and it would just also seem natural. So I remember Adam Ace Man had a guest on who was a comedian or like a comedic historian. And he was talking about how politicians hire comedy writers, like the same comedy writers that write jokes for comedians and sitcoms and punch stuff up. They write they would hire them to write their speeches. So it's like,
Smart.
yeah, I mean, it's just a natural thing. Well, and what I was getting at was like, I think like power and fame have always been something, but like when they discovered the power and like the fame and the power that could come from that with motion pictures and like
Yeah.
those movies and like the Americana,
So we got to capitalize on this, baby.
like those guys could have gotten away with all kinds of stuff, and no one would have believed it at all. You'd have been like, no, Bing Crosby, he just danced and sang that song and just like all the women love him. Like, no, he could never have done anything like that. Not that I'm saying, I'm just
What
naming
about
him.
Adam Carolla? No, Adam Carolla talks about the guy that used Jerry Lewis that used to have people shit on tables above his face.
That was Danny
Right?
Kaye.
That was
Danny Kaye.
But Jerry
Okay.
Lewis is the child.
Jerry
Jerry Lewis is the
Lewis.
child bride.
Oh
I guess the
my
Danny
God.
Kaye stuff. That's kind of what I'm going off
Are
of.
you
like,
sure it's Danny Kaye?
yes,
Okay.
because the St. Jude's guy,
Oh no, Danny Thomas.
Danny Thomas. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know who Danny Kaye is, but this is a person I know.
Danny
Okay,
Kaye was
yeah,
another
you're
one
right.
of those guys back then that did all the movies and dressed in the dresses. And I mean, and anyway, I was saying, I was like, I try to think back then, like maybe there was like a White Cat Williams back then, who was also really a talented singer and dancer and really handsome. But he was just like, nah, man, no Paramount Studios, MG, I'm not going to wear a dress.
Yeah.
And then Bob Hope and Bing Crosby came along and Danny Kaye, and they were like, we'll wear a dress.
Yeah.
So there was like a Cat Williams back then that was like, God damn it.
Success will probably come to you more if you're more open to do more things. Hey, this guy, he'll wear a dress. All right, cool.
Yeah.
He'll wear,
I think it kind of, so the hangups for men, for maybe in the white community about that kind of stuff happened a long time ago, but it does seem like when they talk about it, there's a pretty big hang up about, which, everywhere, but like real sensitivity to like men wearing dresses and that kind of, the gay stuff, as they would say.
Yeah.
But,
Not
like the
anymore.
real,
Now it's weird that's like, that's also in the news in a different way,
What do you mean?
not men in dresses, but the trans movement. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, they talk about, like, the Hoteps talk about that too. They talk about how, like, just what they see is that, like,
Are
gay
the
black
Hoteps
gay
their
black
own
men.
podcast? Like, I don't. Where can I listen to these Hoteps?
Hotep's Been Told You is the name of their podcast.
Okay.
Hotep's Been Told You, and it's a perfect name for their show because it's just like, because they do. I've been listening
Oh,
for
I
a couple
can't
years,
wait.
so they'll say stuff. They'll be like, "We told you about this guy or that guy," or
They do both audio and YouTube, right?
yeah.
Oh, great.
But I always,
That's
when there's
funny.
something big going on in the community, I always I try to listen to what their take on
See
it
what
is,
the
'cause
Hoteps are saying.
Okay.
because it's
So you
really,
don't listen to them every day, or you do listen?
No,
to
they
them
only do
every day?
one. They do Thursdays.
Oh, okay.
Thursday night. So I usually listen to them on Fridays sometime during the day.
Okay.
Would
So I got
I
all
do?
kind of Hotep thoughts coming into our show.
Yeah.
I'm
well,
excited.
Here's one where
It's a tough listen. Sorry, Rob, but it's because they do, like, it's very laid back. It's like a 3-hour show,
yeah.
That's
and it might be
fine.
like 15 minutes before they even start talking about like what the hell you thought they were going to start talking about.
I got nothing but
Mm.
time.
But it's
I got
like,
nothing but time.
I appreciate
Yeah.
them because they're funny.
And
They're
Ben
honest.
told you, like, I'm already in. Like, that's my.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would say when Bill's like, "Oh, where'd you get that?" I'm like, "I've been having this. What are you talking about?
I've been having this.
I've
They're
been
funny
having
and they're
this."
honest, and I wouldn't even call them conservative. They're just kind of real independent thinking people.
Well, I just downloaded it. I just added it to my queue. So now that Adam's gone on Fridays, I'm not really enjoying the Adam and Drew. He's kind of mean to Dr. Drew. He's really kind of mean to him. He's like, "Drew, shut up and quit interrupting." Like,
Why do you think I don't like Dr. Drew? I mean, I was like, I've been listening to Adam talk about, treat this guy like a, freaking
doormat. He's
yeah,
so mean to him. And then Drew just shuts the fuck up.
I don't know. I haven't listened to Adam and Drew show in years.
Yeah.
Years.
I just started back again and I don't think I can do it. So I'm gonna go Hotep. I'll go back a couple months, get like full in the know. I'm excited.
I didn't even listen to Adam this week, so I'm worried he's going to start defending Jimmy Kimmel again.
No, he
So,
didn't. It was a good week. It was a really, really
I
good week of
appreciate it.
shows. Manny and I were talking about it. It was a really great week of shows.
That's good. I'll have
Packed
to catch
full
up.
of stuff.
That's good.
Really good.
Yeah, I mean, I have been prior to that. I have been, but I don't know.
But your wife
Yeah.
had surgery, so you were probably playing Dr. Dad.
Yeah, I don't even think I got earbuds in. Again, like it all happened so fast that
Yeah,
we were back home within like 20 hours, 18 hours, something like that.
that's crazy. Well, I'm glad she's okay.
After we were kidnapped for probably
By
45
the
to 60
healthcare
minutes.
system. Those motherfuckers.
Pretty much.
Big pharma. Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, I started getting into I started feeling real negative. Like, why aren't you giving me straight answers? Like, what's going on?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is there a timer? Like, do you get a bonus if we stay here another past 3 o'clock?
They
What's going
do.
on?
Probably,
They do
yeah.
because they do. You're right.
Well, that's not
You're-
going to help next
Trust
time.
your gut. Trust your gut.
Yeah, I should. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm probably going to do the same thing next time.
Yeah.
Get a pen, get something removed surgically. Is that what you're doing?
No, just like have the same like bipolar shift in attitude.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Thank you so much for your help to what's your problem?
fuck right off. Thank you very much.
Why have you kidnapped me?
I mean,
Not
why?
okay with
Why
this.
not?
I just, I don't know. Just go with whatever comes in me, whatever. Oh, that doesn't sound right, but whatever the spirit,
Whatever
whatever
comes
the
on me.
spirit comes in me, whichever spirit comes in me.
Womp womp womp.
Damn, bro.
Oh Lord.
You really
I couldn't
have
help
me
it, but I
rattled
was
this
like, and I
week.
was sitting there like, man, why am I getting so hostile? Like, I was like, these people really, I was really feeling good about
They
these
literally
people,
just
like,
saved my
couple
wife.
hours ago.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was feeling pretty good about this lady, and now I'm just wondering why she keeps repeating the same thing over and over. And I'm not hearing exact times of when we're gonna be able to get out of here.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. Hospitals. are
But anyway,
crazy. Healthcare systems.
but yeah,
are
so
crazy.
Hollywood, they're all selling out, I guess.
Mhm.
They have been, I guess, in the black comedic world. They're realizing that, yeah, that's kind of how it works. And
It's how it works. It's just like movies. I'm sure the Hoteps have mentioned this before, but I don't know if they still do it. But you know how they always had to have a black comic relief in a lot of the movies, and they always had to have a guy. That's why they've done the spoofs where
another
it's
teen
like,
it
yeah, when he's like,
was
I'm just here to say damn, and
that guy. I remember that. I remember seeing the movie the first
Yeah.
time, and I was like, shit, when was that? It was like 90s or
He said,
late 90s, maybe, but mid 90s. But I was like, yes,
yeah,
yes, there always is that guy.
Mhm.
They had to fill that quota.
I was like, that
Yeah.
guy should have won a freaking Oscar for that role.
Yeah.
Damn. Like,
yeah. They have to.
But
say
you know
damn.
what? Even though that movie and that ridiculous movie just outed that whole scheme, they just kept doing it.
Yeah.
They just kind of finessed it up a little bit,
Mhm.
like made it a little bit more sophisticated, but still, it was just still like that comedic black role. Like,
Yeah.
but anyway, but then Steve Harvey Kevin Hart at least started getting like leading roles.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I guess that wasn't. But then someone comes along and wants to knock him down, I guess.
Yeah. Look, personally, I don't think his stand-up is too funny, Kevin Hart, but
high energy.
yeah, and I'm more of a substance guy, right? But I like his stuff in movies. I think he's funny, and I even like him in interviews. He sounds like a real positive guy and always like working. He's always talking about working. I'm always trying to work myself, and I work people. Always trying to be the best here, best there, and I don't know. It seems like he's got grit and drive. So I don't know.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, Kevin Hart.
Well,
yeah.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. You can chug cock and still have grit and drive. just gonna say.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe it's a little bit of both.
Not everybody on the down low is lazy.
A little bit of chugging, a little bit of working.
I guess, I haven't really thought about it before, that way before. Thank you for giving us that perspective.
Yeah.
But I just kind of judge it from the, I don't really want to know, whatever, but I find you entertaining.
Mhm.
Like when I watch you in a movie, it's like I'm kind of drawn to it. Like you're kind of crazy.
Mhm.
Because he's so little and spry.
But then after
Right.
7 or 8 of those, but at the same time, it's like after 7 or 8 of those, I've personally lost interest.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm not gonna lie and be like, well, no, he was on a roll there for a while where I was like, yeah, it's really his whole energy is funny.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I guess Cat Williams isn't happy about it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's I guess it's so if you're Cat Williams and you know stuff, you can't help it. You can't help yourself.
Ice Cube backed Cat Williams' play though on that. So I mean, not on Kevin Hart, but on the Ricky Smiley. He kind of backed his play on that one.
A lot of the Hotaps and the Black Twitter commentary was about who was backing who liked what, who who did this, shared this or what.
Right.
And yeah,
Oh my God,
I don't even know who
wait.
Ricky Smiley is, but I've heard that name a lot.
Yeah, a lot. So I love
He's a
reality
comedian, I
TV, and I've been watching. And Black people have been doing reality TV for a long time, like the
don't say.
MTV stuff. No. On MTV, there's been some crazy. I've watched some crazy.
Yeah, Whitney had a show.
Black people that I don't even know on reality TV shows. So I know who some of these people are that he was talking about. That, yeah. There's a guy that comes up all the time. I can't think of what his name is right now. But he was married to Brandy, maybe. I can't think of what his name is, but
The singer Brandy?
lots of what was his name?
I'll look at it. Give me a
Anyways,
second.
I think
a
that
lot
it
of
feels
reality
the white community went through all this already, in the 60s and 70s when they were all whoring about and
That's the
trading
thing, everybody's
wives
having
and
sex.
swinging.
Why? Yeah, it is what it is.
So all that
People are
stuff got
gonna be how they're gonna
exposed
be.
already, and they're just kind of
Who cares?
they're just all just being perverts.
Unless it's
just,
being used as a weapon, because I think
I guess
consensual
it's
or
still,
not consensual, right? Maybe P. Diddy's not doing consensual.
I guess that's what the whole story. That's why the whole story has any legs at all, is because it's been weaponized. Whatever is happening,
right.
whether it's people getting tricked into doing stuff or of their own volition or forced, blackmailed, it's all being weaponized. So that's the really seedy part of it. Yeah. But
Bigger problems. I guess we just gotta.
I guess
that
to
we'll be
Robbie's
back
point,
next week.
Kevin Hart works so hard, he's working so hard all the time that there's not a lot of time for the chugging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there can't be that much chugging because he's just such a hard.
I mean, he is like a rabbit.
Is that what you're getting at?
Rabbits are really fast.
It's more of a time thing. It's more of a time. It's more of a time constraint thing. More of a time constraint with the chugging than it is, because he works hard, like Rob said.
Yeah.
A lot of shows, a lot of appearances.
It works really hard.
A lot of Desperate Housewives appearance. Well, that doesn't really.
Watch What Happens Live. He was on Watch What Happens Live. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. But
to me, they're just doing if you just take the color, again, and then there's another, just take the color out of it. They're just doing what every other fucking comedic actor, Hollywood, want to be entertainers, want to be superstars doing has always done, did back in freaking Rome days.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, bro. Jenks, buy me a Coke.
Yeah.
Well,
buy me a case of Miller
they
Lite.
say when the sexual lines are crossed, that's when the end of a society, right? Society.
Yeah, and I wonder, it's probably because that's when whatever religion or set of shared beliefs. Yeah. It's all about those shared beliefs. Whatever shared beliefs help to construct that society disappear. It's everybody starts looking around oh, we don't have any shared beliefs. And all the weird, all the sexual stuff is just kind of a byproduct of the fact that there's just no beliefs at all and anything goes. And
Easy time
No
to
one
be
stopped
alive.
me from anything. Like, hey, someone's gonna stop me.
We do what we want, right? That's our motto.
Exactly.
We do, but it's like it makes me think of it like to get all biblical and stuff, but
Oh, here we go.
to really think about like Christianity and how it started and what it was up against in those days was that the like the standing religion shared belief of the day, as you know, disciples were trying to spread the word, was that like, you know, like a religious experience for a successful man in, let's say, Thessalonia, whatever, you know, like whatever
Sure.
was that
Tartania.
was on my way home from work. What I would do is I would go to this temple. I would put a shekel in the donation box and then just bang a bunch of, you know, like whatever, just going to just like go join an orgy because that was deemed like a religious experience,
Right.
and then leave and then go home and consider myself like purified because I did this religious thing that I was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what they were up against. That's what they were selling. They were selling a religion where it was like, no, you can't do any of that stuff anymore.
It's like, bye. No more hedonistic ways.
They were going to guys that were just legally allowed to go, just like, you know, put a little, you know, a coin into a box and just, you know, do all kinds of sordid, perverted things.
Mm-hmm.
And they were selling a religion to these guys that were just like, you know, you got to stop all that and you're going to be happier. And it worked.
It's like, are we really?
But yeah, because those people were like, yeah, this, maybe they didn't feel like they were doing it. Like, so like a male, you like a 22-year-old today was just like, that sounds awesome. You know,
Right.
they can just go to like a whorehouse on the way home because it's essentially the temple was a whorehouse for like these weird Roman religion, whatever things. And that's what they were selling, a real, like a, you'll be happier if you stop doing stop fulfilling all of your physical desires. You'll be happier. And it worked.
By the way, The Temple is a
Anyway.
Whorehouse is one of John Mayer's least known songs.
Is it a song for real?
Yeah.
The temple is.
That's kind of what they were like. They were like, we have a new religion for you, and this new religion means that you can't have your way with a bunch of underage girls every afternoon, like at the temple. And they managed to sell that to people.
That place must have smelled
Anyway.
funky. Good Lord.
Was there anything else on that list? I thought there
I
was one
don't-
more. No.
I don't know, actually. I'm not in charge of it tonight. Quana, what do you think?
I think that was it. I mean, gosh.
I wanted to just quickly.
Yeah, Robbie, you haven't been around for a while. What's going on?
Yeah.
No,
what?
it's, yeah. No, I just wanted to. I didn't watch the Golden Globes, and obviously there was some sort of controversy with Joe Coy and stuff like that, and how the jokes fell flat, or many of them fell flat, right? So I kind of wanted to try and maybe see if I can give the jokes a try on my own, and maybe write a couple for the Golden Globes.
Oh, shit.
So
All
I
right.
wanted to see if maybe I could do as well as Joe Coy. So I wrote a few for the Golden
Is Taylor
Globes.
Swift is Taylor Swift about to show up in the Zoom?
I'm just
She's
I'm
not-
gonna have a salty face the whole time.
She's not in this. I don't want to offend any Taylorettes. What are they called?
By the way, before you get into it,
Swifties.
There you go.
the Golden Globes is what I refer to my balls as. Anyway, continue, Rob.
All right. Okay, so obviously we saw, that Barbie was one of the popular movies of last year, right? It's, congrats to success, right? So it made a lot of money. It was so popular. So
I've seen most of Barbie now.
have you seen most of it? It's
Mhm.
basically, right. It's a documentary on Hollywood's ever loving obsession with plastic surgery and all these Hollywood
And hating men.
right.
hating
Yeah. So it's a documentary, is right. It's all these
I thought it was pretty.
Hollywood
I
stars.
gotta
And,
say, I thought it was pretty funny.
yeah, what
Yeah.
was it?
We can
Okay.
talk. Well, you go. You go.
Yeah,
You
I
go.
need
Oh,
your
okay.
jokes, Rob.
Okay, so the other big one is what's that movie? It's I looked it up on Google, but Oppenheimer. So I
Oppenheimer.
kept on hearing about this movie that it's like very
Yeah, it's
long, but I
Rosenheim.
Googled it, and it's showed me some scenes on Pornhub, and it's just available scene by scene. Scene by scene. So I don't know. Congrats to Christopher Nolan for keeping my interest. Well, at least just for maybe the first minute or so. Then I lost
Robbie,
interest.
Did Joe Coy really do that joke?
Say the joke again. Say the joke. Say the joke again. Start over again.
You can't make like get the hell out of here. What is this audience like? Hey, start your joke over. I was thinking about something else.
So
He's
okay, so
working it out. This is Robbie's joke.
These
right?
are mine. These are mine.
So I just want to make sure because that's good.
Right?
I like that.
No, so
Was
I
it Oppenheimer?
Oppenheimer, right? Oppenheimer. So I kept on hearing about that movie and how it's long. So I looked it up on Google, and it sent me straight to this website, Pornhub. And so it would show me scene by scene, like 5-minute scenes here, 10 minutes. So it only got my interest for like a minute or so until I lost interest. And then I took a nap, and then maybe I went back to it.
The Fed showed up.
Yeah, I went back to it. And I finally, I don't know, I saw like 10 scenes of like 5 minutes each. Anyways.
I didn't realize you were into your jokes when you started. That's great.
Okay. Yeah. And then I guess there was a Showtime series called Yellow Jackets. It had some success, right? Actually, Disney Plus is looking to make its own adaptation, but it's going to be called Black Jackets. So we'll see about the casting. They're going to do some race swapping there. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes in the coming season. So anyway, I don't know. I hope. Anyways,
good, man.
Yeah,
that's good.
Tough job from Joe Coy, but someone had to do it.
It's weird that in the Adam Carolla, it's weird that so many people in the Adam Carolla universe have like strong feelings about it. You know what I mean? Because he was our boy for a couple years there, and that was like, I said that was like peak Adam Carolla show time. Mm-hmm. Peak ACS was Joe Coy doing Bung Lusu, Adam talking about the floaters, like just with like awesome stuff. Gene and Bald were there.
Yeah.
That was peak ACS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
It was one of the bits that was really hilarious was there was a assistant. There was like two assistants called Nate, but there was a Nate that would Nate eat it. Remember that?
Right.
Yeah.
That shit was hilarious. Like the first 3 or 4 times was gold.
Was it Nate or was it Nick?
I'm not sure. But there were two. Whatever there were 2 of them. I remember
it being Nate. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was like, will Nate eat it? But that was like just organically, just because you can't even hire a team of writers for that. You just find like, oh, they've got some picky fucking weirdo that works over there in editing. Let's drag him in here and just mock him and see what happens. And it was hilarious.
It's always fun when you have someone like that in the staff
it's not contrived or even written really. They just take advantage of they just mine the gold.
It mines itself.
They find a vein of gold and they mine it.
Yep.
But then that guy got like divorced and then moved back to his parents in Massachusetts or something. It's kind of a sad ending to that.
Yeah, man.
They tried to fill his role with some other dickhead that worked next to him or something that just no
Chris
offense.
is out for blood tonight. Good Lord.
No offense, but he was kind of like it went from like an organic, this guy's a weirdo, to this guy's trying to be weird and trying to make it. Like trying to be like a weird picky person instead of like this guy was like a full-on picky sociopath with the eating.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call it. Like not full sociopath completely, but as far as eating goes,
my son
psychopath
has some stuff. Like he only eats really meat and pasta.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Bread.
Give me a steak. Like give me 2 steaks. Give me 3
vegetables. He doesn't eat fruit. Like doesn't eat seafood.
Oh yeah, I got one of my girls
chicken and pasta.
That's one of my girls has got some major food issues like shape, what it looks like. Is it shiny? Does it look dry?
What in the world?
Does it look like it's gonna scratch? Like just like does the texture look right? Just not feel because it's like does
that's
it look
a little
right?
bit of autism. That's it's like a dusting of it. Because
why do I feel like just like a learning difference? Or
I don't like raisins because they look like boogers.
Kylie had that with socks, like a little toe thing, or if it touched the wrong spot, or if it was like it couldn't get to school because
Yeah, we go through
the
it,
sock
like the
was
sock,
not
yeah.
right.
Yeah, she'll be like,
Same child.
uh-huh.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Be like,
A little
she'll be
dusting of
like,
autism.
but it's not gonna feel right all day. I'm just like, but I also remember I
so
remember I had the
relatable.
same stuff. I had like a lot of the like when I was young, I had a lot of the same stuff. Like
Same.
Why do I feel like you have to constantly negotiate with your child for her to eat her food, her meal?
You do.
It's like a
You do.
standoff. You're just like
With
looking
this
over her
one-
shoulder.
with
And
this
then they
one,
just
we've
get
kind of given
skinny.
up. We've kind of given up with this one because it's just
Yeah.
we've kind of given up with this one where it's
That's
we
the
just
thing though, like when they
accommodate
get
her a
older,
lot.
they just
Yeah.
they're gonna eat. You're trying to force your kids to do it. You try and force your kids to do it, and then like my son's in Hawaii, and because he's with a super hot girl and she wants him to eat like something raw or vegetables, he does it. You know what I mean? So like, it'll be fine one day. It'll work out.
It'll correct
Somebody
itself.
will shame her. Someone will shame her to the point where she's like, okay, I got to do that. I got to eat the
Or like also
shiny-
like
the shiny pasta.
I remember times in my younger days where I was just dirt poor.
Mhm.
And I was like, I'm not gonna ask for anybody for help, and I got nothing. It's like you better fucking like if someone makes some stew and it's got a bunch of vegetables in it that you'd never ate before, you better
Fuck it.
fucking get
Just
you
be thankful.
better hold your nose and eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're hungry, like being physically hungry.
And let's be real. By the time that the stew's done cooking, simmering, all those vegetables are just gonna
Yeah.
be mush anyway.
You,
So it's
you
not like
need
you're
to get
gonna.
over your whatever texture problems or what does it look like problems or like and
Yeah.
realize that like at some point like every piece of that stew tastes exactly the same.
Exactly.
It's all like the same flavor, whether it's the piece of the onion or the piece of beef or whatever. Oh,
Yep.
I think that's a good note to end it on.
okay. It's getting cold here. I got to go start a fire before it gets too cold.
There you go.
Well,
You get
it's gonna
frozen
be-
over.
What'd you say? 27 or negative?
It was
2?
70 degrees yesterday, and it's going to be 8 degrees in a couple days.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Well,
Climate,
Dude.
we got extreme climate change going on here in North Texas.
Hmm.
Manny says it's the polar shift, so
It's
to
just,
dig
but
into
it
that another day.
just happens every year, though. That's the thing.
Well, snuggle up.
Like we have
everybody.
extreme climate shift change every 4 times a year.
Hmm.
Oh, like a season?
It's year round, you would say.
Shocking.
Is that what they call them? It's almost like it's almost like we've been recognized a pattern of extreme climate change 4 times a year for all of our human existence, and we've given it names.
Damn it. Gosh dang it.
Anyway, let's not piss off the
Well,
people.
Enjoy your winter, motherfucker.
Enjoy
yeah.
that fire.
I will. Cheers, everybody.
All right, good.
Cheers.
Robbie, good to see you, brother.
Friday.
Good to
Yeah,
see you guys.
dude.
Robbie,
Yep.
so good to see you.
You
Kiss
too.
the
I
baby.
like how Manny's got I've been like, I just
Yeah.
staring at Manny's background. It's a This Is Fine background.
I think
Yeah.
this is what I'm gonna go with from now on.
No,
when
that's
we,
fire.
When we spin.
That's straight fire.
I think that might need to be our whole,
Right?
like our
That's fire.
Facebook group background might need to be that right there. Like,
The world is on fire.
this is fine.
Yeah, for those of you that listen or
Everything's
watch, go look up the Endless Ranters
We should all
Facebook.
change our backgrounds.
Robbie's
Join
going all
up.
demon. Robbie's he's the Pepto-Bismol man.
Holy shit. That's some nightmare fuel right there.
Robbie's
dude,
out
if
here.
I've
He's
ever
the
seen
Kool-Aid man with the Pepto-Bismol flavor.
my
Oh, yeah.
God.
it. Bro.
Looks like the Omega Man too, like the zombies in that Omega Man. You ever seen the movie, The Omega Man?
Oh yeah,
No.
Charlton
Yeah.
Heston.
That is a classic.
Unfortunately, yeah.
My dad had me watching that shit when I was like way too young to watch Omega Man.
Oh my gosh. I always say that. Like the Pit and the Pendulum. Like I was watching Alfred Hitchcock movies when I was like 5.
Yeah.
Twilight Zone.
So
yeah, like-
creepy.
oh, man.
Hush, hush, sweet
one of my favorite
Charlotte.
movies.
Oh my God.
One of my favorite movies from that era, Omega Man. I didn't realize that the Will Smith movie, I Am Legend, was a remake of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Fuck
Well,
Will
I
Smith.
didn't realize until I
Fuck.
was like halfway into this, into like the Will Smith movie. I was like, what?
This all seems
That's
oddly
Jaden?
familiar.
Is that Jaden? Like, are you snuggling Jaden right now, Robbie?
Oh
What's
no,
going on?
that's
That's Shia LaBeouf.
yeah, Shiloh. Do it.
Yeah.
Do
He's
it.
He's a priest now. You understand?
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Yeah.
What is?
He is.
He's a Catholic.
No, he's a Catholic now, and he's flying to be a deacon.
Okay.
Interesting.
He's going to
Yeah.
deacon. He's going to deacon school.
Well, I mean, he has a life experience to be able to dispense other types of advice. I guess I don't know, but save that for-
I'm watching it. I'm watching that story.
we'll bring you more of that in a future
All right.
episode.
He's definitely going to start a
Peace
cult.
out, A-Town.
All right, take care, everybody.
Peace
All right.
out.